Namaskaram. Today the topic is steps or stages of research. A research project is completed in several steps or stages. The main stages of a research project are: 1. Selection of a problem which forms the topic of research. 2. Statement of the problem. 3. Identification of the aim and objectives of the study. 4. Analysis of the problem. 5. Consultation of references, sources or a review of literature to know more about the problem. And 6. Formulation of hypothesis. 7. Selection of a methodology. 8. Farming of research design. 9. Data analysis and generalization of or formulation of results. And 10. Preparation of presentation of the dissertation, thesis, or a scientific paper or a scientific report. So, steps or stages of research majorly include 10 features or 10 conditional viewpoints. Okay, coming to the first one, selection of a problem. What is problem? Actually, the problem means that the topic one researcher who selected for his or her work, which is generally called as the problem. Okay, selection or choice of a suitable area or topic for research is the first and the foremost step of research program. It depends much on the attitude, that is interest, then competency to compete with the others, and dedication, what the researcher has, the precise prerequisites or the quality of researcher, and knowledge of the researcher, the facilities and resource available for research, the timely need of the society or nation, and such other factors. So, usually a single problem is selected at a time. So, it indicates the selection of problem indicates two facts. Either the research work should be theoretical, or either it is research which constitute an applied level. So that is more important in the selection of problem. So it is the first stage or step of research. Second one is identification of the problem. Once a broad area of investigation is selected for research, the focus of the research has to be narrowed to highly specific research problem. That is, a problem is selected. Sometimes it is a wide area, and one should or one researcher should go for the abbreviated and the pinpoint level of research. That is much relevant and required to solve the problem. So, identification of problem is more important, and usually it includes a highly specific research problem is identified and taken for solution or answers. That is, a research problem thus taken up must have the following features in general. There are 5 features of identification of the problem is generalized. First one is the problem must be significant in the existing social, political, economical conditions. Second one, the solution or answer of the problem is not already available. And third one is there should be more than one possibility for solving the problem. So second one is more important as in this, that is already solved problem should not be taken for the research part. That should be the appropriate identification. And here the third one indicates that the possibility of solving the problem. While one researcher select a problem or identify a problem, whether it is able to solve in a good manner, that should be confirmed. And the fourth one is the problem must be ideal for experimentation and empirical testing. So the causal relationship and effectiveness should be tested, and experimentation is possible, or only the possible level of experiment should be added, and then only one identification of problem is successful. Okay, coming to the last one, fourth one, there should be sufficient sources for getting the relevant information and data about the problem. So the information gathering or collection of data or collection of the secondary data or primary data is more important. So in that level, one should identify the problem about his or her research work. Okay, then third one is in brief, prioritization of the problem. That is, a problem already identified for research has to be judged and prioritized for starting the work. That is more important in the stages or steps of research. And here the prioritization ensures that the problem is highly relevant, very much urgent, immensely feasible, and widely acceptable and applicable under existing condition, and it does not invite the repetition or replication of a previous research. So that is the prioritization. Which one should the first, what to do early or in the first step. Okay, and next fourth stages of research is analysis of the problem. So once a problem is identified and prioritized, it has to be thoroughly analyzed. A systematic analysis of research problem involves the following steps. So in analysis, there it requires a systematic level, an orderly level of analysis is required, and they are: one, elucidation of the core problem with the emphasis on its background, nature, prevalence, magnitude, and intensity. That should be noted and subjected for analysis. And second one is identification of the causes, contributing factors, and the consequences of the problem must be analyzed. Okay, and the third one is study the relation between problem and its causes and the contributing the factors. So causes and consequences of the problem should be analyzed mandatorily. And fourth one is categorization of the causes and contributing factors under distinct classes. So by following the analysis, it should be grouped into separate level. Which one comes first and which one is required and which one is come next to the first one. So in a systematic level, the analysis is required and the analysis should be planned. And next stage of research, that is fifth stage of research, is statement of the problem. This is the exposition or elucidation of the problem in the form of a statement or question. Statement of the problem provides a definite orientation or direction for the research and thereby paves the path for clear conclusion. So, statement of the problem, that is what the problem is actually defined first, then only the analysis and the interpretation or identification and the objectives all are getting compiled well. So statement of the problem, actually what is the present level, present status and requirement to do the research work or to analyze or to obtain a solution, that should be described in the statement. Okay, so it is also one of the stage or a part of the research work. And the sixth one is identification of aim and objective. After the identification of a specific problem, the aim and objective of the study have to be fixed or formalized by clearly stating what is the established or achieved by the investigation. So, the preliminary investigation and survey of literature and the current status which is identified, and then only an appropriate aim of the research work and what are the clear basic or required objectives should be mentioned. So this is one of the stage more important also in the research work. And the steps, this step very important because it frames the questions to be answered and determines the methodology to be adopted for the execution of work. So aim and objective should be clearly mentioned, then only one researcher can ask for the research, that is it is the time of requirement. Okay, so the major objectives include solving the problem, formulation of hypothesis, theories and laws based on new findings, modification or rejection of existing hypothesis, theories and laws, etc. That is the major objective of identification of aim and objective. And it also contains some minor objectives also. That is, minor objectives include the social, economic, political issues related to the problem. So in a research work, the various stages are there, and not only the last and least, the identification and aim and identification of aim and objective is more important. While one researcher presenting, it is required to do the research work, that should be first mentioned in his aim and give some objectives, and both are more important. It is of major and minor objectives. Normally in a research, the major objectives include the experimentation of and analysis and statement of the problem, but it also includes, in so many research work, the public or the audience may ask what is the social importance or economical importance, or what is the beneficial level of the institution or the university or the community or some industries. In such a level question may arise. So that is why it is also included as minor objective in a research program. So this also, that is identification of aim and objective, is also very appropriate and accurate in the stages of or steps of a research program. Okay, and coming to this, these are all the major 6 stages of steps in research. Thank you.